Hey folks, Nella here. I've decided to make a video going through all of my dolls because my last family video is probably way out of date and there's a bunch of new people, so um this video may be a lot longer than I thought. Okay, so that's frustrating. I just recorded 16 minutes of me going through all the dolls. I just gone to the last bit. And that's when my camera decided, hey, I'm just going to stop here and not have saved anything. So, frustrating. So I'm actually going to start from the end and go to where I had originally started because everyone's in various places. So, I'm going to start off with the Tinies. I have the least amount of Tinies. They're my smallest, amount of size that I have right now. And I used to have one more, but I sold her. So, first off is my very first Tiny. This is Finnian. Just call him Finn. He is a resin soul or Bobobie, bow in white skin, and he was also my first white skin doll. And boy, am I glad that I got him secondhand and that he has continued to mellow. Because I really don't like white skin. I really don't like photographing it. And if there was any way I could upgrade him to have double joints, I would so do that. It's just that usually it's too much of a hassle. I just haven't bothered looking into it terribly much for him. My second tiny girl, and the first in the traditional kind of Yue proportions, is Viviana here. And she is an island doll Jessie in, I believe, island resin. So she has more of a yellow undertone. We have Tazyep here. Tazyep is a Impldoll Gela in, I think this was their tan, but not the UV tan. But she's a number of years old, and once again, I got her secondhand. Then we have my one ABS boy. And I say boy, that actually isn't really accurate for KO. KO is not humanoid, it is outside of gender constructs. He just likes how the pronoun he sounds. So, that's his choice. So KO is a... Why is it escaping me? Shoot, it's totally escaping me. All of the names of everyone, character names and then sculpting company names, will be in the description below for various things like me forgetting names. All I know is that the company has been really hard to track down lately. By lately, I mean like Junkie Spot somehow managed to do it for one order, and then it was like, no. Which really sucks. His Honor essentially is a modified body for Horu, which also has gone completely silent. But he's got like the animal paws too. Anyway, I love him so much. He's awesome. And then last from my Tinies, so that's miscellaneous BJDs, we have Bunnikins. Bunnikins here is a Paper and Sakura Ruby in white and then default face painting. Okay, that's all the Tinies. I'm going to go up to the minis. There's a whole bunch of minis, and there's a whole bunch of pets, because space and stuff means I don't have as many bodies as I do heads. And I'm back with the minis. So, to start things off, we have Profiterole. And for anyone who doesn't know what a Profiterole is, it's a small French cream puffs, and then you pile them in like a pyramid, and then you put sauce over top. They look really good. I've never had them, and I'm unable to eat them because gluten and dairy and stuff. And she is a doll family A Anthony head on a gem of doll 40 centimeter body, which is like the big baby body. I did a box opening for this body and for the head that it came with. Profiterole's sister is Éclair here. She is a Telesthesia and dragon Gloria. She's specifically from the Telesthesia. I'm not sure. I've never heard it pronounced. And she is from their big baby line. She is considerably chubbier than her sister, which has both good and bad points. Good point. She's actually wearing an SD dress right now. It's big on her, but, like, it looks appropriately childlike on her, too. Okay. Next, we have Horu. She is a Ninodoll Woo.U head on a Kid Delph boy body. We have Cassie here, short for Cassius, and she is on a, she's a Slinky Neko Hodoo, yes, that's correct, on a Angelheim boy body with actually the extra hands from my Mythdoll Yue, who I will get to next. So this is Maddie, short for Mattea. She is a Mythdoll Yue. She was my first doll that I ever received. However, her character the character that was originally in this body has been reshelled into Fleur here. So this is her new shell. The Mythdoll Yue was the old shell. She is a Batchix Lagoon on a Soul Kid body. And then we have Lily here. You can't see my my little octopus ice cream dude. This is Lily. She is a Souldoll Lily C. The name just fits so well. A Souldoll Lily C on that Batchix Lagoon body, which is one of the best bodies I've ever handled. I love it so much. And last, for dolls that are currently on bodies, we have Alwyn. Alwyn is a Souldoll Tiffé, a Souldoll Tiffé with modified eyes. So she's on the original Soul Kid body. Her eyes were modified by her original owner in either 2004 or 2005. She was actually, fun fact, the very first BJD I ever saw in person. And I fell in love with her. And I ended up buying her from my sister, I think, 2 or 3 years after that. I say me buying it. It was a combination present for my parents and for my sister. So, that was Lily. Now we're getting into the... Oh, wait, no, sorry. There is one more on a body. She's probably very put out with me for forgetting about her. How dare I? This is Diva. That is short for Princess Diva Icicle II. She is a Dollmore Tori on a Doll in Mind Happy body. It is the mature body, but I think it's version 1, unless they kept these really weird wrist joints in the later versions, but I don't think so. She has that very strange name because she is a human version of my girl cat, who was put down 4 years ago now. I guess 3 years and like 7 months, something like that. We're getting close to when she was put down, but it's been roughly 4 years. So that's her, and I do have her brother. I do have a version, a doll version of her brother, but Cassie is using his body right now, so he is currently in the bucket of heads, or rather, the bathtub of heads. This is actually a bathtub that I made and sculpted out of clay and did the dip for the glaze myself. I want to say about 10 years ago now. Yeah, about 10 years ago. And that's where I usually keep all of the floating heads, which I have a lot of. So let's get on to the floating heads. So the section on the floating heads did not record. I either forgot to press it or my cell phone just decided, hey, I'm not going to say this. Either completely completely logical possibilities that have happened before. So I've got the basket or bathtub of heads. So let's crack on. So I was talking about Princess Diva and how she is kind of like a human form of my female cat who was put down. But I also have one of her brother. Here he is. So this is Prince Hunter Creamsicle II. He's an Angelheim Luca. So Cassie's actually on his body right now. And it's an interesting story of how I got this. So I actually got this when Creamsicle, the cat, when it was looking like we were most likely going to have to put him down like really quickly. But then I got the doll thinking like this will help with my grieving process. Except then my cat got better and actually got to meet the doll version of himself and was really interested in him, or fairly interested, which is odd. But it was very cute. I took a video of it, which I will link at the end. Yeah, so I'll put in some pictures of the cat that this fellow represents. Okay, next up, I'm just kind of grabbing it random here. Next up, I'm not sure what sculpt this one is. I have to look it up. It'll be popping up in the corner, and it'll be in the description with everything else. This is Faust. He is an Angel of Dream doll, and I forget what sculpt he is, except I'm pretty sure it's one of the girl sculpts. And yeah, I received him as a hybrid on the Doll in Mind girl body that Princess Diva is on right now. So he usually uses the Angelheim body when I have him out. Oh, fun thing. So I showed you all Bunnikins. Faust here turns into Bunnikins. You know, because he's a magician. Why not? Next is the most recent floating head. She doesn't have a name because she's supposed to be the more realistic version of Profiterole. So I'm hoping that this will stay Profiterole, but who knows what happens once I actually get to paint her. She is a gem of doll, Mokoko, I believe it is. And it'll be in the description. Let's do... I can't find her wig right now, which is bugging me. Right now she's got the wig from her previous shell, which is completely the wrong size now. So this is Drew, short for Gela. She is a Batchix Lagoon, and she's the, we're going to call it twin, of Fleur. It's kind of complicated in story, but usually I just say twin. And she's not actually going to have white hair anymore. I'm going to do dark gray, and I was thinking kind of like a faux hawk sort of thing, because that really suits her. You know, edgy, but you can make it look like a normal haircut, which makes sense because she is technically in her world's military, so I don't think they'd allow like a proper mohawk. From my dyeing adventures, we have Hal, who is a doll in mine Julius. There is actually a body that he goes on, but I don't have the body with me because it's unstrung, so it can be dyed. Some of the pieces are dyed, but the color hasn't been consistent. There was these weird bubbling things that I have to look up how you avoid them, because it's a weird process, and it was very odd to see them. So this is how. And I can't actually be dyeing him right now because the only pot big enough that I could find and buy doesn't work on my stovetop here. It works at my fiance's place. So it's obviously I cannot do the dyeing right now. And then the person whose body belongs to is Isaac here. Isaac is assumed Cheshire, and so the parts that are dyed are this color about. And he's got the spots for the inside for his ears, but I didn't buy the option parts with him. I got him secondhand too. Now we'll do the last head who's in here, and it's Ghost. Ghost is a Bobobie pixie, and this was the original shell of Drew. As you can see, let me just do this. It's pretty drastic a change. And Ghost uses either the Kiddelf body or the Angelheim body. Kind of depends on who else is on the body. And Ghost is part of the same story as KO. And Ghost's pronouns are they and she. And that ends it for the heads. Or at least the heads that are here. The SD heads, who you will see in a moment, after going through the SDs that are on the body, also go into this. And it's good. It's pretty full now. So, like, I have been looking into bodies, but for some of them, Drew, it's very specific, Drew. She's going to be a really tough one. For some of the others, I mean, like I said, Hal and Isaac do have a body, it's just in pieces. I will say one of the SD girls is floating head right now. But she does have a body. It's a single joint, actually it's a no joint torso. And I finally got all the sealant cleaned off of it. But restringing it has been a fun adventure. By which I mean it's been very, very frustrating. But restringing is often frustrating for me. Which is why everyone's so floppy. Don't worry, I'll get to you. I'll get to you all eventually. Eventually. Okay, now on to the SDs. We're in the home stretch. So, we have Usagi. His hair is being a bit crazy today. Usagi is a Volks Mimi in Old Skin. She was made in either 2001 or 2002. I keep leaning towards 2002, but I'm not entirely sure. Keeping the Volks theme going. We have Kata here. And Kata is a Volks Emma from 2004, so she's from the original release. There hasn't been a re-release of her, but I believe the head has been used for one-offs. Then to just kind of finish off the Volks stuff, we have, come on, don't know why your hair is catching on your eyes. This is Umiko. Actually, Usagi is on Umiko's body right now. She was my first Volks girl. She was made in 2003, January 2003. And she's amazing. I love her so much. She's a SD13 Megu. I forget what the full choice number system is for that head. And let's go on to the non-Volks big girls. So we've got we've got Sujin here. Sujin is an asleep Eidolian yin, which I don't think that sculpt has been discontinued. It might have. I have a lot of discontinued sculpts, probably most of my collection. Offhand, I'm going to say most of my collection. I'm just going to grab Sujin's girlfriend, or will eventually, later in the story, be her girlfriend. And that is Li Shuang here. Li Shuang is a doll zone Shuang-er. And this body is also used for my last SD girl here. And that is Emelinda. And Emelinda is a Peaks World Lottie. And now we just have the boys left. Number 1, we have Noah. It's been a while since Noah's been on screen. He's still in the process of getting his eye mod. His eyes were almost completely closed. I'll actually stick a picture of his before right here. So yeah, it's quite different. And I may have to actually remove more than I want to, and then epoxy to get the correct shape, just because of how the eyelids were done, like right to here. Because I actually can't extend any further, which really annoys me. The eye modding process has been very frustrating and slow going. But anyway, Noah is a Doll Family H Ang Ping, which is a discontinued sculpt. I believe even his body is a discontinued version. He's a 2-part, which is always my preference. 2-part, not the 3-part, because that just eats the doll's underwear and doesn't contribute overly much to posability, I find. The other doll that uses this body is actually my very first SD. I think pretty sure he was my first SD. Yeah, he was my first SD, yeah. This is Benji. Benji is a mirror doll head number 7. I think it was 7 or 9. The information will be in the description below and will actually be accurate. And it's a discontinued sculpt. And Benji's love interest is Seb here. Seb is not a discontinued sculpt, surprisingly. Seb is a Doll Family H Lucky, or the one of the SD practice heads. I've also seen the Chinese name rendered as like Zing Zi or something, or just Lucky. This is Seb, and this is actually like his complete look. He is the only one of the SD boys to actually be complete. It's made a hell of a lot easier by the fact that he's just a head on a bust. He's just a bust. Okay, so that is everyone, and I will have hopefully like an end screen, which will have like the breakdown of like how many that was, because it's a lot. Or if I've edited this correctly, there will be a timer or like a ticker that's been counting off how many, and maybe that amount will show up in my hand here. Maybe, if my editing's okay. If it doesn't, okay. Bye everyone. Have a great day and take care.